Good evening, folks. A very warm welcome. This is Love Audio's YouTube channel. Very warm welcome to our Monday night stream. It's at 8 o'clock. It was just after 8 o'clock, actually. It's about 3 minutes past 8 here in the UK. And a bit of a different one tonight. I'm not going to be in front of the mixing desk. Well, I am in front of the mixing desk, clearly, as you can see. But I'm not in front of the software tonight. The reason for that is I'd like to be able to bring on an electronic dance music producer that I've been friends with since he was born, to be perfectly honest with you, because he's part of the family, which is fantastic. But I wanted to bring him onto tonight's stream just to talk about the effects that COVID-19 has had on the dance music industry as a whole, and how it's affected him, perhaps, and how he sees things moving forward. So, without further ado, we'll get into the show, and basically, we would love to have your input as well. So if you want to leave a comment, please do so. You'll find the comments section in the YouTube, of course. Send us a message. That will flash up on screen just like that. And then we can answer your questions. So if you've got any questions for either myself or Wayne in relation to electronic dance music, then please do make sure that you get that question into us, and we'll get it answered as soon as we possibly can, okay? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Welcome into the room, the one and only Mr. Wayne Stonelake, producer from Audio Coaster.
Hello. Great to be here.
How you doing? Okay?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, actually. I'm just putting on weight. That's all I'm doing.
Well, I think we've all been doing that, haven't we? You know, it's kind of, well, for me, sat down predominantly. It's not a good look after a while. And all these snacks that I keep stumbling across in the cupboard, it's just not good. I mean, most people go to the fridge, don't they, and get a salad out, but no, not me.
No, my fridge is likely to swear at me if I open it
again. Brilliant. So, Wayne, you're in South Wales, aren't you, in UK?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And with regards to your particular principality, whereabouts are you? Are you near the coast? Are you inland, or what?
We're kind of in the valleys, not far from, about 20 minutes from Swansea.
Okay.
Some of you might have heard of a place called Kidwelly. It's got a lovely castle. It's quite a touristy place. We're about 5 minutes from there.
Oh, all right. Brilliant. And how do you find it? I mean, you're a Devon boy. I must admit to everybody that's watching the live stream right now, you're a Devon boy by heart. But how have you found kind of living in Wales? You've been there for a while now, haven't you?
It's extremely similar. It really is extremely similar. I wouldn't want to make any comparisons, to be honest with you. I love it here.
You're coming out with that Welsh accent now. I didn't hear that earlier on. It's because I've been talking about Welsh
20
Wales.
years.
Yeah, well, that's 20 years. Really, you've been there that long?
2001, so it's almost that, yeah.
My gosh, didn't realise it was long. Because you've got a young family as well.
Yeah, it was the day before 9/11, day after 9/11.
Oh my goodness, I remember that distinctly. I was working in Chichester when that happened. In West Sussex on the breakfast show, just come off air, and it was going on just the back end of my show, and I got home and I said, do you want me to come back in and help with the news stuff and all the rest of it? But wow, it's just one of those days that just sticks in your mind.
I'm just thinking about myself then.
Yeah.
It was the day before, but it was that night I couldn't sleep. So I turned on the news, and it was actually happening there and then. That was my first night in Wales.
Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah.
So listen, what's the music industry like as a whole? I mean, not necessarily just in Wales, but as a whole, how are you finding it right now? I mean, how for instance, has lockdown affected you?
For me, I've had more time.
Yeah.
Because I obviously have a job, a day job, but I've been isolating. I have a lung disease, so I've been isolating.
Yeah.
So I've had more time to sit in front of the PC and play. I'm not exactly an extrovert, so being stuck home isn't so, it's not so bad. It's hard when you need to get out and get some fresh air. You want to go and see people. You miss people.
Yeah.
I want to get the kids out of the house. The weather's been fantastic, and we've not been able to use it. But other than that, I can sit in front of the PC. I don't have to worry about getting up early in the morning, and I can fiddle to my heart's content.
And no doubt you enjoy doing any of that anyway. I know I do. Once I get stuck into something, it's like, my gosh, hours go by, don't they?
Yes, yeah. Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head there.
So you've got into electronic dance music and producing that, and I noticed that your YouTube channel. And I'll put the link up in the chat very shortly. but I've noticed that you've got some great cover versions, but you've also got some really good music that you've actually produced yourself, and that to me is a really good testament to a good producer. So, how long have you been
Thank you
making
for
your
that.
own music? How long have you been kind of tinkering with that?
Um, this is going to sound really ridiculous. I think back in the very late 90s, I stumbled across a piece of software, a game for a PlayStation, for the old PSX,
Okay.
and it allowed you to connect loops together.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah.
And it kind of went from there. And 2001, 2002, I downloaded the demo of FL Studio
Okay. That's
and
Fruity Loops for those that don't know. Yeah.
Fruity Loops. Yeah, it was called Fruity Loops back then,
It was. Yeah, I remember that.
and it was I was making things within 6 to 12 hours because I couldn't save because it was the demo.
Ah.
So I'd sit up all night to complete a tune,
Yeah.
and then export it as a WAV file the next when it was finished. But I could never go back to that track. And
Wow.
eventually I did bite the bullet and I paid for the full version.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. And obviously you've been making it ever since. I noticed that some of your videos are kind of a year old, 2 years old, perhaps. So have you been making stuff more recently? Obviously because of the lockdown and things.
Because of the lockdown, I have, yes.
Hmm.
And I revisited a lot of stuff that I never had the time to finish.
Sometimes that is often the case, and I don't know if you watch a lot of YouTube. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But there's a guy on there called Joe Gilder, runs a thing called Home Studio Corner. He also works for Presonus, who are the makers of the software that I use, Studio One, and also the makers of this mixing console as well. And he says very often you could spend months getting a track ready and then not ever publish it or not even release it to your friends or family. And he said that's some of the kind of drawbacks of having your home studio, is that sometimes you're a bit frightened to put it out there in case you get kind of negative feedback. Is that something that bothers you?
Yeah, there is this thing whereby also I'll add to that, when you've been producing a tune, a track, a beat, whatever you want to call it, you can actually get tired of it because it's very repetitive. You're hearing the same riffs over and over and over again. And by the time you've completed it, you kind of don't like it anymore. 6 months down the line,
Yeah.
you rediscover it and you say to yourself, oh, that isn't so bad.
Well, yeah, I think when you revisit it, when you go back to it, then it's often a bit more refreshed in your mind, and
Yeah.
it's particularly if you play it to somebody that's not heard it before. I think that's always a good thing as well, is that you can then get their feedback and they go, well, actually it's a really good track, you should put that out. I made a couple of notes actually whilst I was listening to your material earlier on, and I particularly liked the warm feeling that you had on your track called Reflection.
All right.
Really good, yeah. I mean, I'm into all that kind of mellow stuff, anyway, as you know. So I like that. I really did. And you did. I've got to tell people this, and I've put your YouTube channel URL there in the chat. You did a beautiful remodeling of Kraftwerk's The Model, and you called it a remodeling, which is really cool. But you didn't use any vocals in that. It was purely the instrumental track all the way through, which I thought was really ingenious.
Music is my thing. I used to write a lot of lyrics when I was young and in my teens, but I've never gone down that route myself. I'm not a great singer. It's not that I can't. It's just that I'm a little embarrassed about singing, to be honest with you. So I don't
People
have
have
the
told you not
confidence to do
to. I know they do that with me quite frequently. Please don't sing. Can you whistle? I mean, I can string a tune together, Wayne, but I'm not a brilliant singer. I can't read music either. So I've got the keyboard, yeah, sure, but it's all about the MIDI notes for me, as it probably is for you too.
Yeah, I think with the model, I watched a lot of YouTube videos of it to try and suss out the notes, see
Yeah.
where the notes were, and because I too don't read music, I can understand some of it, but it's really limited. Apparently, Paul McCartney's in the same boat. He's one of those that doesn't read music or used to not be able to read music.
Yeah.
But so we're not alone. We're in good company.
Fun fact.
But I would,
fun fact for you for Paul McCartney. Just while we're on that subject, by the way, I'm left-handed. All right. Most creative people are, to be fair.
Oh,
I,
I'm ruined already.
no, it's fine. I'm left-handed, and at school I had to have all the strings swapped around on my guitar because
All right.
I couldn't play it traditionally like this. I just find it awkward. I can't do the
Right.
thing. So I had to have everything swapped around. So I play it like this, and that's exactly how Paul McCartney plays it. He
Wow.
plays it
Okay.
left-handedly instead of right-handedly. Yeah. You watch any videos of Paul McCartney, and if you watch the Beatles as a whole, he's the one with the guitar facing the other direction. There you go.
I,
You can
I
have
would
that.
have known that.
You can have that one if it ever comes up in a trivia question,
No, I've
particularly.
known that. I've been looking for it all the time now. That's what I'm like.
Ah,
Um,
brilliant. I
yeah,
forget
I
where
can't
we
remember what I
were.
was going to say next.
Something about left-handedness, right-handedness. No, maybe not.
No, I'm okay. I'm right-handed. But if I'm kicking the ball around and things like that, I will use both feet. I'll use both hands when doing jobs and tasks, especially
Yeah.
eating food, writing, all right-handed.
And when it comes to music production, you've mentioned FL Studio. Is that still your door of choice?
Yes. I mean, there is a rule within using doors in that you should use other doors.
Well,
They recommend it. Everyone recommends trying something different. Don't get stuck
yeah.
in just what you know. But it's affordability as well, isn't it?
It is, and I
Um,
think if you're used to something, Wayne, there's no reason why you can't continue to use it, particularly if you're bringing out great material. Um, I don't think there's any reason to just change DAWs just because somebody says, "Oh, this one's better than that one." You have to try these things. But if you've got one that you really rely on, like you do, then
I'm
there's no
still
reason why
learning
you
it.
can't. Yeah, well, I know.
It has a huge learning curve,
Yeah,
and the manual is, well, I only refer to it when I get stuck because it's so big. It's easier now to go onto YouTube to see how to do something than it is to read the manual.
well, YouTube's a fantastic platform. We're on it right now, so we have to say that, and quite rightly so. It's a total learning curve for me because spending so much time in the studio as I do now, I often refer to it if I'm stuck on something. So. We were talking earlier on off the stream about side chaining. Now, I didn't have a clue about side chaining until my son, Tom, told me how to do it
Right?
in the
Okay.
software that I was using. And now I try and use it all the time. If I'm doing a dance track and I want that kind of whooshy, pumpy sound, then I
Is
try and
it the
use that.
same process? I
Yeah,
wonder from FL Studio.
well, what it is we use a compressor and you put it on the channel that you're trying to compress.
It's the same.
But
Yeah.
you control it sidechain wise by the bass drum, for instance, or the snare drum, or whatever it might be, if it's the offbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's exactly the same process. I would have, for example, the kick drum, for example, side chain to the bass, and that would have the bass would have the compressor,
right.
and well, not a compressor. I actually use what we call an FL Studio. What we call it? It's a limiter,
Oh,
and
okay.
you have a compressor option. You
Ah,
tick that. You choose the kick drum. It's already side chained because you've chosen to do that with it. So every time that kick hits, and you have really precise control of the envelope, because with sidechain, it's only sending the envelope data, it's not sending the sound. So people often get a bit confused about that. So I thought I'd mention that. It doesn't send the sound to the other channel, it just sends the data that would create the sound.
yeah. Because it's controlling the
Um,
sound for you, and I found it a shortcut because you could go through a whole wave file in my domain, as it were. I use a lot of WAV files and MP3s and stuff, and you could go through and manually change the volume curve of every single note that you wanted to change. But that's laborious. If you can get a
I used to do
compressor,
that.
yeah, well, I know exactly. And if you can get a compressor or a limiter to do that for you, then happy days. It just takes so much time.
Yeah,
Gives
I
you so
still
much time
do a
back.
lot of that automation
Yeah,
because you sometimes want that precise control.
yeah,
So I will still, what I call draw what I want to happen.
yeah,
So you basically get a block, a graphical block
yep.
with a line through it.
Okay.
And you can change how that line looks. So my volume could be going up, down, or the filter could be going up, down here, up there, and so on. I do a lot of that.
Okay.
I also have another way of sort of, it's like a cheat to side chaining.
All right.
There's another way of, you can put an EQ on a track, on one of the tracks,
Yep.
say, for example, the bass line, and you can link that EQ to a peak controller on the kick drum.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting
And
you.
every time the kick drum hits, it will drop the
But only if it reaches a certain
bass.
decibel. Is that right? So
Yeah, again, you've got all this control. You
yeah.
can control how quickly it drops, how much it drops, how much it rises, how fast it rises. So like you were talking about that swooshy sound.
Yeah. It's got all
If
kind
you
of a
have a really
whooshy, kind of
like
pumpy
it
sound
goes,
that most pop tunes these days have.
a lot of modern disco tunes have this thing where they have these strings or this pad playing in the background, and that is pretty much going up and down in between the kicks, so it's
Right.
swishing up and down.
But you know what? It might have been recorded at a static level, mightn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But then what you're doing is
But it's just
manipulating that volume control
yeah.
by using the compressor or the limiter. Yeah. Okay. Really good.
I tell you, it's all twisting knobs and it's all
Well, I was going to say the same thing about
sound engineering.
panning. You can also pan left and right using the automation, can't you? So you can whoosh from
Yes.
one speaker to another, which gives it more space, more dynamic range, and it kind of draws the listener in. Depending on, you don't want to go too wide, obviously, but because most people these days are either listening on their phone.
I always had a problem with delay, not in receiving delay, not delay as you might immediately think. I'm talking about echo.
Yeah.
More likely understand is echo. You want an echo in a vocal, but you don't want echo in every single word of the vocal. You just want to catch the last word.
Ah,
And it's only a matter of months ago I learned how to do that. So it just goes to show that after 20 years of using the software, you're still learning.
no, of
And I
course.
literally automated switching it on and off. It's
Yeah.
all it was. So simple.
Well, I know, and you can control that, of course. Yeah, exactly. But what you don't want it to do is cut off the echo sound, do you? The kind of artifact that produces, because you want that to
No,
kind of
you have
delay.
it on, and then you have to leave that
Yeah.
to play out. You can, if you wanted to play out sooner, not abruptly, you simply automate the volume on that slider
Okay.
on the mixer, and that would bring that down slowly.
Ah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's an interesting thought. Say, for instance, I had a female vocal part, and I just wanted to take the last couple of maybe breaths or sentence or maybe one word perhaps of that block of her singing. Would I this is an interesting question because it's different software than I use to what you use, but it may be the same principle. So do I put the delay on the track, or can I put it on the per block, if you like, and then just
I put it on the track.
Right.
That's how FL Studio would have it work anyway.
okay, but you're
So it's
automating it
on
when
the
it gets to
track.
that bit.
When it's off,
Yeah.
it's switched off. Your automation will switch it on
Right.
and then off again.
Right.
And you've got complete control of how long it's on for and how
Okay.
long it's off for.
Yeah. I get you. That's really cool. Listen, I've put your Facebook. No, I beg your pardon. Facebook, YouTube URL up there. You're also on Mixcloud, aren't you?
Yes, I am on Mixcloud, and I broadcast on Mixcloud pretty randomly. Trance sets, house sets, and regular just radio shows of pop and dance for the last few decades.
Brilliant. Well, listen, I've stuck that as well, your Mixcloud link, into the chat. Can I just say that if you are watching the stream right now, thank you so much for joining us. If you've got any questions for either myself or for Wayne, whether it's electronic dance music related or whether it's just audio in general, please do drop the question into the comments there, and we'll do our best to answer them between us. Think of it as an open Q&A, but we're just having fun today. We're just chatting about Wayne's dance music production. And just having some fun. So if you are in the chat, please do say hi, because then we know that you're in the chat and we can say hi to you as well, give you a shout out on the stream. We're here till about 8:30, 8:35, so no pressure. We've got about 10 or 15 minutes left of the show to do. You can also watch it on the playback, of course, but if you are in the room right now, and I know you are because I can see the numbers, then please do drop us a message, say hi to us, and we'd love to be able to answer any questions that you might have. Like I said, it doesn't have to be necessarily about dance music or EDM, electronic dance music or production. Could be absolutely anything. Just let us know how you're getting on today. Let us know that you found the stream as well. And we'll say hi to you. We're back in a couple of seconds. And we're back. So, Wayne, with regards to doing some cover versions, how have you found that? Because, I came across the cover versions of the New Order track you did with Blue Monday. That was really good. And
Thank you.
also the Kraftwerk, the model that I was talking about earlier, which is, for me, it was just, oh, wow, this is so good.
Wow.
No, because, I
No,
remember the song as a kid. I,
similar,
I,
and
I
I've
grew
been
up with it.
thrown by it because I always see myself as an amateur,
But
just
no,
messing about.
honestly, I don't think you should ever undersell yourself. I've always been taught that. So, you put out some good work. You let some people analyze it for want of a better word. They either appreciate it or they don't, and you'll know that from feedback. So, if it's worthwhile.
I got a comment on. I did a cover of. It was an instrumental fluid remix.
Oh, is that the Robert Miles track, Children?
No, I did that.
Because you've done that one, haven't you? That's really good. But it goes
Absolutely.
on a bit long, if I'm honest with you.
It's based on the length of the original. It literally is,
Yeah,
because it has that massive introduction.
it does.
Because before I did it, I read the history of it, and it's a strange thing to do. I wouldn't normally do this, but I wanted to know what was behind the tune because when it came out, it was contradictory to what was fashionable in the dance music scene at the time.
Okay.
And it turned out that in Italy, people were coming home from nightclubs early hours of the morning, really off their heads and crashing their cars. There were a lot of young deaths.
My God.
And Robert Miles, the DJ, had decided to make a mellow track to chill people out before they left.
Oh, right.
And that was Children. That's why it's called Children, because children were dying on their way home from nightclubs.
But it's still quite a pacey track, though, isn't it? It's got a good drum beat to it once it kicks in. I know that obviously there's a different version of it, which is the reprise, I guess, which is the kind of more mellow side of it, isn't it?
Yeah. I might even go back and do edits, to be honest, but I struggle with edits because I have all that stuff in there, and it all means something to me. And to cut a piece out is very difficult to make that decision. What should go and what should not go. But I'm happy for anyone else to do it for me.
I've got something for you. Have you ever been thrown into the deep end?
In what respect?
Metaphorically speaking. Metaphorically speaking, not with regards to the Lido, in Timoth. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Will you give me 30 seconds?
Of what?
The show's now over to you. 30 seconds.
Oh my God.
Just talk about your YouTube channel, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Here we go.
Well, the naughtiest thing I've ever done in regards to my own music production stuff is not properly promoted. I haven't really gone out of my way to promote it. And that's down to self-esteem. So if you're going to do this, you need to start thinking about your self-esteem. I'm getting to the point now in life where I don't care anymore. So I'm more willing to put stuff out there and have it critiqued. But in the past, I was very much like, this is for me, it's personal, and it's fun. I was not quite brave enough to put it out to listen to. However, I did in 2003 put a tune on what was then called internetdj.com. The track was called The Game, and I put it in their hard trance chart. Oh, their hard trance. I listed his hard trance. And it went to number one in their hard trance chart. And I was taken by that. There was no money in it, though. That didn't help me build a studio. But it was really nice to have that's the feedback you really want. It doesn't matter what people say. When it gets that kind of recognition, fantastic. The only problem is one of those tunes I made into 12 hours. I cannot go back to it or remix it, redo it.
Wow. Okay, well, listen. I want to thank you so much for joining me on today's stream. It's been really good to chat with you, and thanks so much for the kind of insight into electronic dance music. How do you, just final kind of wrapping up things really for the last couple of minutes, how do you think the industry is going to progress through COVID-19 and beyond? How do you reckon? I mean, it's been difficult, obviously, with people, and a lot of people are not able to do what they wanted to do, go to studios, go to concerts, that kind of thing. How do you think it's going to pan out?
I think basically the online services have really stepped up, and that's helped to some degree for artists, creators. But I still think there is going to be a huge impact. There are a lot of people employed in this industry when it comes to performance, live performance, and I really don't know. I don't know enough people involved in that to know how they're affected by it. I know that the online services are trying to support artists,
Yeah.
singers, and musicians, and so forth, and producers. But there are people who work like that, like the sound engineers who set up the stage. They're not included in that. So I do worry about them. Hopefully they found something else, or they're getting some kind of payment from their employers.
Sure.
I hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so. Fingers crossed. Anyway, so what's next for you then on the horizon? What have you got up your sleeve? Are we allowed to know, or?
Well, you're allowed to know. I just remixed Rise yesterday because I wasn't happy with the initial version. Was very soft, too soft. So I remixed Rise, and that went out yesterday. I was putting tracks out on Lander with that as a distributor, but they want some more money from me, so they put everything on pause. So all my tracks that were on Deezer and Spotify and iTunes have been put on pause.
That's nice of them, isn't it?
I've been looking back. I've got about 40 tracks just sitting there, half done.
Well, we addressed this earlier, didn't we? It's that very often a musician or producer sits on a load of tracks, doesn't do anything with them for ages, and then just they get like mothballed, if you like, or shelved. And it's only when you go back to it and go, actually, this is a really good track. Why haven't I not done anything with it for ages?
Yeah.
You know, and often that's the case.
It could just be one riff, one melody that stands out above all else, and then you need to start creating something new from it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I know you do.
I just love it.
You can tell you're very passionate about it, which is fantastic. And you know, equally, this whole channel is about being passionate about production. So thank you, Wayne, for joining us. Wayne Stonelake from Audio Coaster. You can find Wayne on YouTube. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can bring that back up for you. It should be on there. Well, that's your Mixcloud link, isn't it? So it's mixcloud.com/Wayne-Cole. And you'll find some of Wayne's material there. Also on YouTube, you'll find youtube.com/user/Funkster1. That's FUNXTEI. In fact, I don't even need to copy and paste that, do I? Just go to the thing here, and I can send that to the queue. And you should. Oh, is it add to queue? There we go. So add that one to the queue as well. Add that one to the queue. Add that one to the queue. And we should. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, come up.
So there's one there. That's your Mixcloud one.
Well, here we go.
That's still Mixcloud, so that's fine. Hang on. Hang on. Let me juggle with the software a minute.
My DJ sensor now. I broadcast live from.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Let's have those in rotation. And we can repeat the entries as well. Right. So that should. Let's refresh that. There we go. The YouTube one. Oh, look at that. Perfect. The YouTube one is there.
See, look at that.
I know, right? And there's your Mixcloud one. So you can find us on Mixcloud and YouTube.
SoundCloud as well.
SoundCloud as well. My gosh, what's the address of that? Let me. Do you have it to hand? Can I write it down?
I can just go straight to it. I should be able to.
SoundCloud.
Just a second. If I move this off my keyboard.
.com. That's my T is just beeping, so we're almost to the end of the. What's the address on SoundCloud, mate?
Should be. I'm just trying to get it up now.
Sure.
Come.
All fun and games.
Yeah. Right, here we are. Here's me. It's on Audio Coaster on SoundCloud, so you could just search Audio Coaster, it will find me. It literally is soundcloud.com/audio_coaster.
So audio.
So it's soundcloud.com.
Yep.
/audio_coaster.
COASTER. Fantastic. Let me drag that into the chat at the same time. People can then help themselves or write it down or watch it on the playback. That's not a problem. We don't mind doing that.
You'll find everything mine on SoundCloud before you find it anywhere else.
Okay. That's interesting to know. So everything's up there that we need to see, yeah?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I go back to this one, view the queue. That's fine. View all. There we go. Okay, there's the Audio Coaster one. I'm going to add that to the queue as well. And then we're back to square one. There we go. So you should see that in a couple of seconds. Is that the one? Yeah, soundcloud.com/audio_coaster, yeah? So that's pretty cool. All right. Listen, Wayne, thank you again so much for joining the stream. Really do wish you every success in your audio editing career and audio production and electronic dance music production. May that long continue. Will you come back and see us again in the autumn?
No problem.
When your single is released to the public, that'll be good.
Yeah. And the money from it, yeah.
Well, that is also true. It wants to be able to pay you rather than just doing it for free, doesn't it? I mean, you know, a lot of musicians have that, don't they? They kind of do a lot of demos for a while, and you know, it's all very well doing it for free, but actually, I want to be paid for this, please. Thank you very much.
It helps keep doing it. You know,
it does.
I need new equipment.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. All right. Well, listen. Taking up far too much of your time. Thank you so much again, Wayne.
You're grateful, Paul. Grateful.
All right. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you wish. Subscribe button is right there. If you click that, then you'll get subscribed to this particular channel. If you're new to the channel, please do let us know in the chat. And Wayne, we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much. All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Love audio.